is, I think, until now, the oldest in Quechua, around the 1613, and it is really beautiful, but especially the words are very interesting because it's not only a Catholic vision, but it's a mix with the magic of the Andes rituals. So I think that has many importance in terms of this encounter between Spain and the indigenous in Bolivia. Actually, the original part of this song is in our Universidad Mayor de San Andrés in La Paz. I've been doing this, singing this, because it's important to notice that our music is a mix with indigenous and European aesthetic. Now, as I'm going to relate the history of the music, the Bolivian music in the 19th century, I want to sing one musical form that is the bolero español. Tristan explained that the Spanish bolero arrived and it was in 3 times, not in 4 times like the romantic bolero in the Central America. And it's really interesting to know that Beethoven composed boleros too, which is absolutely a novelty. And I want to sing one of 4 boleros that Beethoven composed. Como la mariposa means how the butterfly, I am high, how the butterfly. With these words of the popular words in songs from Spain. Como la mariposa. In the high Peru, that was Bolivia before to be Bolivia like that. So people were talking in the main newspapers at the end of the 18th century, talking about this Yarabi, wonderful Yarabi. Yarabi, sweet Yarabi, magnificent Yarabi. And that is important because the mentality were beginning to change. They were arriving to these big and long wars against the Corona de España, against the kings of Spain, to have the independence. So, the aesthetic of the indigenous were, of course, having more presence, and were very loved for the people, not only the people of the popular people, but of course for the elite too. Now I want to sing these two Yarabis that Cañoto, which was a guerrilla of the independence, made to express her own opinions against the Corona de España. And the second one, he will sing for his darling, because he was many times doing this fight, and after going to visit her lovely time. Okay. The first one is, I'm condemned to die. Condenado estoy a morir. I think we have the word, so you can know what about are those these songs. And the more fast.
Corazón
y te amo. Well, the Yarabis were very important in the Inca culture because they said, Guamán Poma, the cronista, the indigenous cronista, said that they remember through the Yarabis their own histories, their exitosas victories, and all the things important in their lives. Now I want to play to let you hear this Canto de los Chiquitos, which is the number 1 of 20 of the annotations of Torino. I think it's really interesting to notice that this music was written and published actually in 1853 around, but never people take in account about the music. Everything is important in those kind of diaries of travelers, the description, the demographic, the geographic, the geological things, but music is invisible. So I think it's very interesting to have these annotations of music to construct the memory of the music of those aboriginal people. Canto número 1 de los chiquitos, así es lo que... It's important to notice that this music was annotated only in one line, in one melodic line, and we have to suppose that this music were with a lot of time repeating and dancing. That's why we're doing twice, and because it's the first time that you are here, we are playing and we all enjoying. Okay, next one. We have this is another traveler that made two annotations, one in Cochabamba and the other one in La Paz. The people in Cochabamba are from the valleys and differently speak Quechua, and in La Paz they speak Aymara. Are different people, are more strong, even the idiom is really hard. And, but those music that we are going to hear, it's interesting to notice that we, until now, hear this kind of music in between of the expression of the criollo mestiza music. And we dance this music, but we always think about the old music like something very strange. Indeed, it's not so strange. So I think, okay, we have this is the Guaya, which is from the part of, actually, in all of the, over the country, and this was annotated in Coachella. Why? The Callahuaya is really an actor very important in the religiosity and related with all the knowledge about the plants and all this kind of knowledge that the people, the indigenous people, know. And specifically, Callahuaya is related with magicians. That comes from a park near to La Paz, the only place where they speak Quechua. And this Callahuaya is a very special rhythm, not really danced in between the people, the urban people. But until now, we can hear this Callahuaya from, he made this around the 1840s. Callahuaya from La Paz. The next annotation is from a very interesting person from Chuquisaca. He made this album of very beautiful prose and related with the dresses and the social, urban and especially indigenous people. And he was inspired in Dormigny, and like Dormigny, he made studies related with the flora and fauna, and he made annotations of music too. From him, we are going to play this Baile de Toritos, which is of the people of Mojos. Mojos y Chiquitos is the part of the lowlands in Bolivia. This is similar in terms of the rhythm of the chacarera, which is played until now, specifically in the part of the southeast in Bolivia. Baile de Toritos. The next one is another Yarabi, but in this case we have different expressions of the Yarabi of the popular people like Cañoto, and this Pedro Jiménez Abril Tirado, which is a very important personality of music, in this case in Chuquisaca too. And I think, talking to Tristan, that Melchor Pérez de Holguín, Maria Melchor Mercado, the man who made the last music, studied with this other teacher, a master of music, really, Pedro Jiménez Abril Tirado. And he was really a very important musician. He made a lot, many, around 30 symphonies, very important. And so this Yarabi is more colored, it's more sophisticated. It's not really easy for our ear in terms of popular music. It's, I think, more elaborate. El Yarabi de Pedro Jiménez, pobre caso. Pobre hogar, paso I said like Tristan. Triste. No, it's triste. Triste, which is a derivation of the Yarabi. The Yarabi is the very deep and important form, musical form, that is present in Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, and Argentina. I know that maybe there is something in Colombia too. All the territory where the Incas were in here, their imperials. Okay. So this is a triste, which was more Creole. Creole people is the Spanish and the sons of the Spanish people. So they are in that moment local urban people. But in terms of the power, they were the elites, and of course, in some moments, their interests were in confrontation with the interests of the colony of Spain. That's why really happened the independence in other visions, and well, they sing a lot this kind of tristes. This triste I found in an album, manuscript album, with many beautiful songs, but now it's lost, that album, because the family is sent to somebody who don't know, and in Bolivia we don't have appropriate institutions to have this kind of books. So many of our music is lost. But we have this beautiful triste, Lejos de ti, de José Bravo. The next two musical things are one of the most important musicians and director of military bands, Francisco Suarez. He made, I think, around 20 boleros de caballeria. I want to explain that all this music I found in between doing the research to know exactly what was the meaning, the significance for the Bolivian people of these boleros de caballeria. And I found that really it was related with wars, with the Pacific War, with the Acre War against Brazil, with the Chaco War against Paraguay, and of course with a very long memory in between of these events. The cavalry bolero was really having very important presence in the fields of many of the Bolivian people. But, of course, as many of the musicians, he made annotations of the popular music too. We are playing this sicuri, which is an indigenous dance from La Paz, from Francisco Suárez. So they have shame and they don't want to see, but they put the cortinas, how do you say cortinas, Lisa? Curtains, and they dance a lot with music, they love it really. So this is wonderful, wonderful baile. Bolivar, when arrived to Bolivia, to La Paz, and after to Sucre, to Chuquisaca, they hear this, bailecitos de la tierra, which means two is known like baile, only baile. De Francisco Suárez, el baile. traditional music, which is cueca. For example, the cuecas were around the middle of the 20th century beginning to be really known. But until now, it's really not common to find these dances in the rural area. Even now, I think it's very much near to the Spanish aesthetic. And I think that in relation with the bodies, it's something that we have to study in relation with the rhythm of the indigenous music. They really don't dance cueca. Not Trista? They don't dance cueca in the rural areas. Cuecas no será. Okay. Let's play this. Madre. Raúl Villanueva. Madre. ¿Es en tres?
No.
¿Es en cuatro? to be more, more density in terms of the analysis of the gestual movements in the dances, for example. Rosalia Martinez, she's a very important musicologist. She is beginning to study not only the music, not only the words, not only the rituals in between this music is played, but in terms of the body, what is happening with the body? What is happening with our bodies that some rhythms we can dance, and some other rhythms we can't dance. And that's nothing to see exactly with our physiognomy, but I think, of course, it's a cultural thing, but the density of the studies now are telling you different things related with music. Okay. I'm going to sing this Yaraví Bolero, which is really important because it's the proof that it was really a joint mixture in Yaravis and Spanish boleros. And in this case, this bolero, this Yaraví bolero, is not telling words of love. It's telling something that has to be with the state. Something has to be with the political ideas that the musician has. And, ¿cómo se dice? Reclamando en inglés.
Reclamando.
Reclamando contra la pérdida del Océano Pacífico. So, in this moment, Bolivia is fighting in La Haya for recover his, ¿cómo se llama? Su salida al mar. And I think it's in part a big problem because the governments usually take these kind of problematics when they have crisis inside of their situations. And of course, people became very nationalistic and chauvinist and things like that. And so I'm singing this because really that was an expression of the change of the century from the 19th to the 20th, which is a different significance. I'm living to know you that. Okay. Now, Al Porvenir de Francisco Molina. No